In the pantheon of martial arts legends, few matchups capture the imagination quite like a hypothetical battle between Pei Mei, the legendary Shaolin master, and Bruce Lee, the revolutionary martial artist who changed cinema forever. While one represents the ancient traditions of Chinese Kung Fu and the other embodies the evolution of martial arts philosophy, both stand as titans in their respective realms. This epic confrontation would pit centuries-old Shaolin mastery against innovative modern combat techniques, creating what could only be described as the ultimate martial arts showdown.
The mystique surrounding Pei Mei stems from his portrayal as a nearly invincible master of the White Lotus style, capable of techniques that border on the supernatural. Meanwhile, Bruce Lee's legacy rests on his real-world prowess, philosophical depth, and revolutionary approach to combat that broke down the barriers between traditional martial arts styles. In their prime, these two warriors would represent the perfect collision between old and new, tradition and innovation.
Pei Mei's legendary status comes from his mastery of the most deadly techniques in Shaolin Kung Fu. Known for his white eyebrows and beard, this fictional master represents the pinnacle of traditional Chinese martial arts. His fighting style incorporates the devastating five-point palm exploding heart technique, superhuman speed, and an almost mystical understanding of pressure points and internal energy manipulation. Pei Mei's approach to combat is rooted in centuries of refined technique, where every movement has been perfected through generations of masters.
Bruce Lee, conversely, revolutionized martial arts through his philosophy of adaptation and efficiency. His creation of Jeet Kune Do emphasized the way of the intercepting fist, focusing on directness, simplicity, and personal expression. Lee's approach rejected the rigid structures of traditional martial arts, instead advocating for a fluid style that incorporated techniques from boxing, fencing, wrestling, and various Asian martial arts. His physical conditioning was legendary, with a physique that combined explosive power, lightning-fast reflexes, and incredible flexibility.
The cultural impact of both figures cannot be overstated. Pei Mei represents the mystical, almost supernatural aspects of martial arts that have captivated audiences in countless films and stories. Bruce Lee, meanwhile, brought martial arts into the modern era, inspiring millions worldwide and establishing a legacy that continues to influence fighters, actors, and philosophers today. Pei Mei's combat approach relies heavily on traditional Shaolin techniques refined to lethal perfection. His mastery of the White Lotus style allows him to deliver strikes with devastating precision, targeting vital points that can disable or kill with minimal contact. His movements flow like water, yet strike like lightning, embodying the classical Chinese martial arts principle of softness overcoming hardness. Pei Mei's legendary techniques include his ability to pluck out eyes with 2 fingers, his impenetrable defense, and his mastery of internal energy that allows him to perform seemingly impossible feats. Bruce Lee's fighting philosophy centered on economy of motion and maximum efficiency. His Jeet Kune Do incorporated the best elements from multiple disciplines: the footwork of fencing, the hand techniques of Wing Chun, the power generation of Western boxing, and the flexibility of his own innovative approaches. Lee's famous one-inch punch demonstrated his ability to generate tremendous power from minimal distance, while his speed was so remarkable that cameras often couldn't capture his movements clearly.
The fundamental difference lies in their approaches to combat. Pei Mei represents the culmination of traditional martial arts, where technique and spiritual discipline merge into an almost supernatural fighting ability. Bruce Lee represents evolution and adaptation, constantly refining and improving his methods based on practical application and scientific understanding of human biomechanics.
In a hypothetical encounter, the first exchange would likely showcase the contrast between their styles. Pei Mei would open with traditional Shaolin techniques, testing Bruce Lee's defenses with lightning-fast strikes aimed at pressure points. His movements would be fluid and seemingly effortless, each technique carrying the weight of centuries of refinement. However, Bruce Lee's adaptive nature would quickly come into play, as he would analyze Pei Mei's patterns and begin to counter with his own innovative combinations. The middle phase of their battle would see both fighters adjusting their strategies. Pei Mei might unleash more esoteric techniques, perhaps attempting his legendary 5-point palm exploding heart technique, or using his mastery of internal energy to launch devastating attacks. Bruce Lee would respond with his philosophy of interception, using his incredible speed and timing to disrupt Pei Mei's techniques before they could fully develop. The final confrontation would push both warriors to their absolute limits. Pei Mei's traditional mastery would clash against Bruce Lee's innovative approach in a display of martial arts excellence that would be both beautiful and terrifying to witness. Each fighter would be forced to dig deep into their respective arsenals, creating a battle that would showcase the very best of both traditional and modern martial arts.
While Pei Mei's legendary status and mystical abilities make him a formidable opponent, Bruce Lee's revolutionary approach to martial arts and his real-world application of fighting techniques give him the decisive edge. Lee's philosophy of constant adaptation and improvement, combined with his incredible physical conditioning and mental acuity, would ultimately allow him to overcome even Pei Mei's centuries-perfected techniques. Bruce Lee's victory would come not through brute force, but through his ability to evolve during the fight itself. His Jeet Kune Do philosophy of absorbing what is useful and discarding what is not would allow him to learn from Pei Mei's techniques even while defending against them. Lee's scientific approach to combat, combined with his unmatched speed and precision, would eventually find the gaps in even Pei Mei's seemingly perfect defense. The triumph represents more than just one fighter defeating another. It symbolizes the victory of evolution over tradition, adaptation over rigidity, and the power of innovation to overcome even the most established systems. This hypothetical battle between Pei Mei and Bruce Lee represents the eternal struggle between tradition and innovation in martial arts. While both approaches have their merits, Bruce Lee's victory demonstrates the importance of remaining open to change and growth, even when faced with centuries of established wisdom. The enduring legacy of both figures continues to influence martial artists and action cinema today. Pei Mei's representation of traditional mastery inspires those who seek to understand the deep roots of martial arts, while Bruce Lee's revolutionary philosophy continues to push fighters to question, adapt, and improve their techniques. In the end, this ultimate showdown reminds us that martial arts, like all aspects of human endeavor, must continue to evolve to remain relevant and effective. Bruce Lee's victory over the legendary Pei Mei stands as a testament to the power of innovation, adaptation, and the relentless pursuit of improvement that defines the greatest martial artists of any era.